Good evening, everybody. This is Wednesday, February 9th. Welcome to the evening commentary from Market Truth. Let's go over the broad-based indices tonight. Let's take a look at the S&P futures. Got a little bit of a sell-off today, but the price action continues to be that whatever kind of selling pressure we get, it just seems to run out of energy. Today, that was the case. If we look at an intraday chart of the S&P futures here on the lower right-hand corner, you'll see that we traded down to we actually bounced off of the intraday high volatility level, and then we traded down to it, bounced off of it again, eventually traded below it, but we couldn't stay down there. We caught a nice rally at the end of the day, almost traded back to unched. You'll notice that we're still flirting with that monthly level up in the upper left-hand corner here. 1320, 1321, that's the level that we gave you as our upside target for the S&P for the month. We tagged that level, came off of it a little bit. Remember, we talked about how on the quarterly levels and the weekly levels, monthly levels, it's these volatility levels act a lot like support and resistance, in which when they hit these levels, because these are volatility levels, that's an area where the market generally runs out of steam and will reject that level. If the market then trades back through that level, then you've got some momentum that's going to continue usually in that direction. You'll notice on the lower left-hand corner, though, in the weekly, on the S&P futures, the volatility, this has been an incredibly quiet week. Not only have we not taken out the weekly levels to the upside or downside, we haven't even touched them on the S&P. Let's take a look at the NASDAQ. We had some earnings after the close today in Cisco. So the NASDAQ took a little bit of spill in the after hours. But intraday, I mean, it's the same story. We look at the lower right-hand corner here again, just nothing, just no range whatsoever. We traded down to the intraday low, bounced off of that, closed above the pivot. Pretty much no action until the after hours. I mean, we actually had more action in the after hours today than we had all day. The lower left-hand corner, the weekly, again, we can't even tag the upper or lower end of the range. And the monthly in the upper left-hand corner, same story. Still hugging the top of that line, 23.55. We're currently at 23.53. I did talk about earlier the last few days. I've talked about how if for some reason we can't get through the weekly high volatility levels, usually means there's a good chance we're going to test the bottom of them. Perfect example, case in point. Look at the intraday. The methodology works regardless of time frame. So when we trade up to the intraday high volatility level and we either fail or we don't quite get there, there's a very good probability that we're going to test the bottom, and that's what we did. When we test the bottom and we can't take that out, there's another good chance that it's going to make a run at the top. That's like a person who's trapped in a box and he's trying to get out. He's going back and forth from wall to wall. The market is trying to find direction, and that's what's happening here. It's testing the highs, it's testing the lows, and it can't find the momentum to break out. Let's take a look at the Russell futures. Same story here. Look at this lower right-hand corner. This is the intraday chart, and you're going to see the same thing. The Russell is trying to break out. I mean, it traded to the 812.90. The high was 813.10. I mean, practically to the tick. We couldn't get through there. Where's your target? Your target suddenly is going to become this 804 level. We trade down 804. Again, the market can't find any resolution down there. Trades back up again, back down, and it's in this range. The lower left-hand corner, the weekly, same story. If we can't take out this 820, which it doesn't look like we're going to, the between Thursday and Friday, there's a good shot that we test this 792 level. Let's take a look at the Dow. Same story. The Dow's been holding up a little bit better than the other indices due to the strength of some of the higher price stocks. The Dow actually has closed above that monthly level, but the Dow's going to need some help from the other indices. You'll notice on a weekly, it has traded to through the top of the range on an intraday level. You'll see the same type of pattern here. We tested the top of the range, failed, came to the bottom of the range, failed, and we closed at the top. So let's see what happens tomorrow with the price action off the Cisco news. Let's see if we can actually get some volatility tomorrow.